Well, I'll tell you, it takes a while to get that back because
Yeah. It's a major surgery, it takes a while to recover from any surgery.
Okay, you're streaming live, fellas and gals.
Okay.
my light's on.
I'm just saying, we're on YouTube
You're streaming
for the
now,
world to watch now.
so don't say anything you don't want to hear.
Not recording yet, just streaming.
That
So
Bart is a real crazy guy.
When you go to record, come right here.
Yeah, I just hit up here and start.
Okay, that'll work. You want to do there?
That's where I
Okay.
usually just
All right.
click on that. Thank you.
Sharon, when are we meeting again? Next week?
Yes.
Okay. So we're gonna have two this first part of the month and then
Then you're done.
we're done until,
Uh-huh.
Depends on if you pass the budget or not. No pressure or anything.
well, you know, this is one of the easier budgets that we've had. I dreaded this year. I dreaded this year.
The whole process I've seen since I've been here, it's 5.5 years now, has gotten better each time.
Yeah, there was just a lot more money circulating than I ever thought there would be. I guess you gotta realize everybody was still getting their money and they were spending it, but they were spending it locally.
Well, I think what probably saved a good part of the bacon there is the taxing of internet sales a couple of years ago. The internet sales are off the roof.
Yeah.
When you're home, what do? Get on the internet and buy.
There was two things that was phenomenal this year. I guess it's the internet sales and Home Depot sales, because everybody doing home projects.
Absolutely.
So what's up, Gina?
I don't know what's this stuff. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
You too.
How's my buddy doing? Is old Brian keeping his nose clean?
What's that?
Is Brian keeping his nose clean?
Yeah, it's just chugging along. Doing
We
good.
didn't get to have our visit down at St. George this year.
I know. I was disappointed.
I don't think you're there. Oh, you're right here.
I'm in the terrestrial world.
Hey, we're within range of talking on each other.
Message, your last campaign finance report is due.
I turned mine in.
Did you turn yours in? Okay.
I haven't turned mine in yet, but I'm back in town.
So you did yours.
Yeah, I did that on the 28th.
Who else was it? There was somebody else tonight that I was gonna remind. Maybe I just looked at the wrong list. Right, thanks.
Well, it had to be Dave, Carl,
Carl's done his.
Me.
Barbara, and husband Nolan. Did
Nolan
Nolan?
did his.
Well,
Yeah.
like that's all of
I
us.
was thinking this was.
James, are you still our county attorney?
Well,
I sent John to one
double
meeting.
check Sharon, but I think I turned my final report in on the 28th.
Yeah, you probably
I thought you were in Texas.
Yeah, but double check.
I've been in
let me
Milford
know.
all day.
Thank you.
I thought you were someplace
I
remote.
left at 2:30 this morning.
Did you not have cell service down there either, probably?
Hey.
Oh, no, no, matter of fact, I was almost 6 miles west of Milford.
Can I get you
Water
one?
Yeah.
bottles.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's out.
Oh, yeah,
All
that's-
those pig farmers.
That's way past then.
Hello, Carl.
Hi, Gordy.
Good to see you. You too. I guess we gotta have this meeting and another one, and then,
Resolution.
then we can have all of it. Yeah. Yeah, I think we ought to have our Christmas party about July next year. Maybe April, March.
Then we can do it.
Yeah. And we won't be concerned about breaking all the laws.
Right.
Because I don't know what else you could do. You can't really have it now.
That's true.
At least not without exposing yourself to some pretty nasty press and viruses.
Yeah, well, I really think that's what we
You
should do.
got me set up for,
I do too.
You're streaming.
you need to change the
Where'd they put
date.
Barbara?
Right.
Next to you.
Are you right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Signed last time.
Oh, dear.
You signed two of another.
2 of another one? Oh,
Yeah, it wasn't your fault.
that doesn't do a lot of good then.
Is your husband feeling any better?
Yes, he is feeling
And then
a
this
lot
was just
better.
the minutes.
I had to come and visit him, but it didn't dare.
This was
Yeah.
the minutes from the 10th.
Okay.
Page and see if it did anything.
Oops, excuse me.
Sorry. Thank you, Sharon.
12:01.
Change the date?
It is streaming already, he started.
I know.
He had to change the date, I wasn't qualified.
Hello, Madam Second Vice President.
Hi, Carl.
How are you, Gina?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
Sorry about the water.
Sorry about the water?
Doing it, Barbara.
Oh, I thought there was something wrong with it. That's why.
Pretty sure. Just got one for you.
Janine, is this a note for me to call this individual?
He called today, said he's been trying to get hold of you.
Oh, you know what? He might be the one that my phone keeps blocking. Do you guys get those where it says blocked call?
Possible spam?
Yeah.
Well, coming from him, I would agree. You're streaming right now.
Is that Mr. Eames?
No.
Oh,
Oh, Chad Booth.
Doesn't know who it is.
I'm gonna look and see.
Oh, yeah, the stream is on, so.
Yeah, so you're going over the air.
how are you, Barbara?
Great.
How are you?
Thanks for the warning.
You look like a ninja. It's very scary and intimidating.
I'm never taking this off again. Janine, is John coming today? Have you heard?
You know, last time I talked to him, he said he was gonna try and come, but I haven't talked to him recently.
Okay,
So I've got
see, I see ya.
in case he comes, but
Okay,
I texted him to see how he was doing, and he said he was gonna try to be here the last meeting of this month.
so not
That'll
tonight.
be next week.
So I don't think it's tonight,
Okay.
yeah.
okay.
I also talked to, Matt.
And I saw Dave here, but I haven't seen Paul.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Maybe that's. Oh,
Okay.
I saw it.
How are you doing?
Good. So how are we blessed with your presence here, Mayor? Yeah?
Well, good.
Tell you, you're looking pretty patriotic there in your mask.
And we've got Cache Valley Daily here.
Oh, you have?
Started about 10 or 15 years ago where
Glad.
you're on the mic.
Yeah, hold on. No, you're good.
Families
Yeah.
and all the widows.
I was,
Give them a big poinsettia.
How neat.
And
That's neat.
anyway, that's about my funnest thing.
That's great.
All week, she said. And then the day beforehand, 3 o'clock, she finally says, yeah, I worked there for 20 years. And then,
oh,
we
so
were out later.
you might have known my dad.
Thanksgiving. Both our kids were going. So we drove 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I rented out.
8, sat around for 2.5 hours, turned around, drove 2.5 hours.
Worked in the admin building as an auditor.
Was it a lot? Yeah, and you know, her parents, my in-laws are on, Nelson, just that one problem. And you know, my father-in-law.
He's the one who
Well, let's go ahead and start.
Yep, we got a quorum.
So for us to go up there, I was happy.
That is a little bit fast. It's like 3 minutes fast.
Is, 3 minutes fast?
It is.
Ah, well, in that case, I guess we're starting 3 minutes early. Okay. I was trying to be timely and it ended up being over exuberant. Well, welcome everybody. We'll go ahead and start anyway. And appreciate all of the council being here and hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I guess we'll begin the meeting with an opening by our county executive, Craig Butters.
Thank you. I'd like to make my remarks in the form of a prayer. Our dear Heavenly Father, we come before Thee at the beginning of this county council meeting to express our gratitude and appreciation for the opportunity that we have to be here as representatives of the citizens of this county and as members of the public. We ask for Thy guidance and direction to be with us here at this time, and we seek to know and understand Thy will and to follow it concerning the decisions that we make here for the benefit of the county. We're thankful for the country that we live in, for the recent elections that we have gone through, and pray for a peaceful transition of power and the opportunity to provide input and seek changes that will make our country a better place to live. We pray for Thy guidance and direction to be here with us this night. And we express gratitude for those who work to make things run smoothly here in the county, for all that they do. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, it's a privilege. I'm not sure. Bart, do you know how to get this to work? Maybe Janine? Oh. Do we have an extra battery? Somebody?
There was one that was actually pretty, we set the meeting up.
Take the battery out of ours if you like.
I guess I shouldn't have said anything, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's
Okay.
boost yours out. That'll take
Get drug into whatever I'm yammering about over here.
Thanks, Gina. Okay, we need to approve our agenda for this evening. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. And also a review and approval of the minutes. Are there any follow-up? Any additions or corrections to the minutes of our last meeting of the 24th?
Move to approve as written?
Second it?
All in favor? Aye. Are there any opposed? Thank you. Any follow-up to the minutes? We have some agenda items that are follow-ups, but
I'd just like to thank Sharon Haas. She does a great job with our minutes and getting the gist of what happened, and I just personally appreciate it. I just want to thank her.
I'll second that. Thank you, Sharon. All right. Craig, I guess time for your report.
Once again, my report's going to be pretty brief. We have placed the financial report, the check register, on the iPad, and I will sign it and get a copy to the chair. We don't have any appointments at this time. We do need to make appointments prior to the end of the year for the mosquito abatement district, so I'm in the process of working that out. And that's all the information I have at this time. We're just
Wow.
hoping to work on the budget, that completed. So, thank you.
Thank you. That's what happens when we only have 1 week in between the meetings here. Thank you, Craig.
Blame it on COVID.
COVID, yep, and Christmas, December. All right, we don't have any items of special interest. There's nothing on our agenda for department or committee reports. And there is, however, one Board of Equalization matter that we should discuss at this time. Well, it was listed as item 12G, but I think since it's a matter of Board of Equalization, let's address that item right now.
We need to open it.
Yes.
Move to open the Board of Equalization.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
This one is a
Okay.
little confusing to me.
The time you wandered through it all, you were lost, right?
Well, it's 30 pages, but I was, like, there was information about the home business, how that affects it, and what percentage, like 12% of it was only being used for that, and back and forth, and then the home was, she received it free by inheritance, I guess, or something, and back and forth, anyway. So, but she does, I guess, qualify for the 38%, I believe.
That's what it looked like to me as well, 38%. And, yeah, I'm unclear, I couldn't read the writing that was done in red as to what the home business was, et cetera, but apparently it's a sales type business and affected by COVID and therefore income affected by COVID.
I think it's an internet sales company. I think it's called Hawaiian Moon Aloe Cream or something.
Oh,
But that's what I was curious about is how, how does that really affect that 12%? How does that really affect the overall income? We just look at it, the income. And, and I guess all of the assets too, the value of the home and stuff, but I was just kind of curious as to how that fit in to the picture.
I agree, Dave. I felt like I didn't have enough information. I didn't understand. There was no statement from this person explaining how they were affected or what happened or how they've come to be unemployed. And I would frankly like more information before I make a decision on it. I don't know how the rest of the council feels about that. I was confused by it as well.
We can get you that information by next week.
okay, why don't we defer this then, is that?
There also wasn't the letter of hardship of her. Usually there's one in there where they describe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's things that have happened, but it didn't have really the letter that was documented by her was not part of the package.
Although there was only one statement said loss of job due to COVID,
Yeah,
and
that
that's all
was
it
it.
said.
yeah.
But it was hard to, paint the picture without that information, so, was for me anyway.
Could that be added as well, Jess?
Yep, letter of hardship.
Okay. All right, well, we are in the Board of Equalization at the present time. I think the,
Move to postpone?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We need a motion to go out of our Board of Equalization meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go ahead and exit our Board of Equalization meeting so we can proceed with other business.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, we are ahead of time for the public hearing, so we'll wait on that and move down into, let's do 11A, the ordinance 2020-12, establishing a fund balance policy. There was concern in our last meeting about adding language requiring the council to approve changes to the fund balance policy. And I read through that, and it looked like it was added. It was added to my satisfaction. Are there any other concerns about it?
Nope.
I think the language is good and what I was looking for.
Okay. Well, it's a pending action item. We can act on it at this time if someone wants to make a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we approve ordinance 2020-12, establishing a fund balance policy.
I'll second.
Okay, moved and seconded to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Are there any opposed? Thank you. All right. Let's see, I gotta go down here and see what ones we. On these, we've got some ordinances providing for changes for salaries of elected officials, et cetera. Do we need to have the public hearing on the overall budget before we approve these? These are included in the budget.
Probably go through 12A, couldn't we, though?
Well, we have a public hearing scheduled for that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a public.
You're thinking of 15 and 16 items, 12B and 12C.
Right.
Talk about the dinner.
James, do we need to have a public hearing on the budget before we'd address these elected official salary ordinances, or?
They're noticed up, their initial proposals. I'm just trying to, I would wait,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay. Well, then let's see what we can do on the, okay, this is something we can do. 12F, Trails Cash Committee bylaws. That's something we can look at.
Do we have an update?
After the council expressed some concern last time about how the voting membership of that Trails Committee would happen, Carly and I met and talked through those bylaws and think that there could be some benefit from talking through the issue of how voting membership is selected, as well as just the scope of that Trails Committee's duties and any authority that they may have. That there could be a broader discussion before that comes before you again. And one of the things that we talked about specifically in that regard is that perhaps the Trails Committee needn't be a county entity, that it's really a community committee that's receiving support from the county in the form of our Trails director, Carly, or coordinator, providing the staff support and keeping minutes of meetings and being a liaison. But that's one of the issues that we thought could use some more discussion, is whether it's really a county entity or whether it would be better for the council to pass a resolution supporting a trails committee in the community and resolving to provide some staff support for its meetings, kind of thing, or something like that.
Advisory board or,
It is, it's advisory and doesn't really have authority to make binding decisions, and its membership comes from across the county in different communities, and so that's why, as we talked, just felt like we probably ought to do a little more talking before we bring that to you. They would like to keep the momentum rolling, that Carly's done a wonderful job getting the momentum going, and take advantage of that momentum to get some leadership in place. She was hoping before the end of the year, but as we talked, she'll be okay with doing that at the first of the year, if we can get that before you in January.
Okay.
what other committees are similar to that we have for now?
The one that to me seemed the most similar, but that is specifically for the county, was when there was the Mountain Roads Committee for the county. But that dealt with roads in the county, and this Trails Committee really is dealing with trails both in the unincorporated parts of the county and otherwise, and trying to help with coordination and maximizing efforts and resources, which is why we thought maybe let's discuss whether it really is a county committee or a community committee that is supported by the county.
See, but that committee is all appointed again by the county executive, right? The Mountain Roads?
The Mountain Roads Committee.
With the approval of that.
Right, with the council. But, see, this committee, it's kind of like it's out there by itself.
So we talked about that as well, that perhaps appointing the voting members would be better than voting for them. And the way Carly has it set up is to really welcome anyone from the community, whether they're in the county or even outside the county. If there's a outdoor retailer that's interested in something going on, that they could come. And that maybe, and my suggestion was maybe we don't need to call them members of the committee, but that the bylaws allow for any interested person to attend the meetings and give input. Anyway, we just need to think through a little bit more, but would be happy for whatever input you have as well, as we think through that.
John, the grants that are applied for, do they go through the county, or how does that work?
That's a great question, and we didn't get into that in detail, but Carly mentioned that we do get grant money and help to funnel that, and so that's some of what we need to figure out.
That's a good thought. That's something that is probably a reason why they work through the county.
Right.
And Carly had mentioned you, Barbara, and that we would reach out to you as that group that may do some more discussing.
That'd be great. Yeah, she called me because I wasn't able to be to the meeting the other day, and so, yeah, just let me know, and I'd give some, but I would like to know how those grants work, if they're running through the county, how that affects.
And she's really up on that, but I'm not.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, John. Okay, well, let's move on to other business. We're ahead of ourselves here, but county employee Christmas dinner. They need to know by tomorrow night, I think, a head count of any who are planning to attend, so discuss it with your spouse and decide what you want to do and let HR know. All right. Any questions or concerns?
Is Ginny the one we're supposed to give our account to, our number, if we're coming or not, or how?
There's a little
It's Amy.
website.
Amy, yeah.
Oh, Amy, we got a website on, and so we,
Click on that.
Yeah.
You can't get it from the internet.
You can call Janine or myself, and we'll make sure to get you on the list.
I called Diane today, and she put me on the list.
did you?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions about that? All right. Well, let's go to council member reports then. Paul, what have you got? A lot happened since last week, right?
That's right. A bunch of stuff. No, I have nothing.
Nothing? Okay.
We should come up with a joke or something, just.
Yeah,
in case it's
yeah.
time though, huh?
You're right.
Well, maybe Gina can tell us what's happening with the UAC now that she's involved there.
Well, we haven't done a lot yet. We're gonna meet as a new executive committee, in, I think, December 14th, so in about 2 weeks, and I'll keep you updated and posted on what's going on there, so.
Well, I noticed we have pretty good Northern Utah representation
Yeah, we do.
now.
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll keep you posted, and other than that, I don't have anything. I can't even think of a good joke, so. I'll leave that to Dave. He's always got good jokes.
Okay, Barbara?
Nothing to report either, other than, you know, the trails thing, we've discussed that, so I'm good.
Okay. Gordy?
Janine pulled me aside at the beginning of last meeting and said, would you be willing to take this present to our previous county clerk? And I said, well, what is it? She says, it's a picture. I don't know if any of you got to see it. What we should have done, we should have brought it in so everybody could see what we were doing. But the county presented to Jill a picture of all the councils that she served as the clerk in. And as I recall, there was about 7 pictures. Is that about right, Janine? And it was really quite fascinating to look at all those pictures side by side and then look at yourself and see how much in 20 years you named. And so I said I'd be more than happy, and there was a card. We all signed a card, you know, quite a while ago, and that's where the card went, was with that gift. And so the day after our meeting, which had been Wednesday morning, I went up to Jill's and she was home, and so I said, we got a nice gift from the county that is an appreciation for the years that you served. She served as the clerk for I think it was 19 years, but she served in the you know, as in the clerk's office for, how many was it? 31. I was going to say 30. And anyway, it was quite fascinating to well, I took it in and I pulled the bar stool out and I set it so it was like it was up on an easel. And she sit there and studied that, and after she'd studied it for a little while, it became evident that she didn't want to talk to me. She was intent in what she was seeing in all those pictures. Anyway, she thanked us, and I thanked her for the service that she had did for the county, and gave her the card and left. And you know, I think she was taken back at how unique of a present that was that the county gave her and recognized her for all those years of service. So the only thing I feel bad about is I think I might have been the only one on the council that even saw it, and it was just sitting there, and we easily could have brought it in here and shown everybody what we were going to give her, but she sent her thanks, let's just say that. And that's all I got.
Thanks, Gordy, for doing that. That's for representing us all.
It looks like Janine has just sent you a text message with that.
Picture
with a
on
picture
it?
of that on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. Oh, good, thank you.
Well, I told Cindy that when I gave it to Jill, I said, Jill, I'm looking at all those pictures, and it's amazing how young, I used the word, how young you looked in the first year that you was the clerk. She smiled, and anyway, when I told Cindy I told her that, she says, you shouldn't be saying things like that. I says, well, Jill could have looked at it and said, well, Gordy, you just really can't imagine how much weight you put on. So anyway, we all laughed. But it was. I appreciate the opportunity to do that, and you know, I thank Jill really sincerely that we appreciated her from the county and all that she did. She was a good clerk for all those years.
Yes, she was.
Never had any challenges with what she did.
Well, thank you again.
It was a good experience.
Dave? You're left with the joke.
No, I had some time today. driving down the road, and I was listening to the radio, and our, basically our Insight Cash, or
Yeah, Imagine Cash.
Imagine Cash, sorry. Imagine Cash, they were advertising that on the radio and soliciting people to get on it and write down, you know, experiences in Cache County so that they can really get some traction and molding really what Cache County is to look like in the next 100 years, give or take. So you might still be there in 100 years, Tony. Other than that, that was it. I just thought that was kind of
Okay.
Well, if you want to hear a real joke, I was driving down the road and the news came on, and it was Sean Hannity telling all about the new discovery where a UPS truck driver has now come forth and said, I was asked to deliver ballots from New York State to 2 Drops in Pennsylvania. And he said they were huge boxes, big shipper boxes, and he said I was able to see in one of them, and it had filled out ballots in it. And he went on, and it's all over the news right now, because that's the first one that's come forth and could produce ballots being shipped across the country. So
Interesting.
it's an interesting thing, and I've said maybe we shouldn't talk politics now, but I've said that if our Supreme Court won't deal with this, we can kiss America goodbye. You know, we just will never have a decent election from now on. But we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
It is, but it's not funny.
No, not a joke.
No joke.
Well, Craig, you've been standing here at the
Oh, that's fine.
podium, and
Sober joke.
I'd rather lean on this than sit there, I
okay.
guess. I just wanted to point out, and maybe you announced it, but while I was doing other things at the beginning of the meeting, but our public hearing for the CDBG will not be held tonight.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
there are several items of information that we're waiting for from the Bureau of Association of Governments. So we will most likely hear that in January.
Okay.
We have until the end of January to get that completed. So just wanted to make you aware of that. And sorry I didn't get that announcement made on item number 3 when it should have been made. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we're looking for content, so.
Well, we're close enough, aren't you, 5:30? Let's open this up for our first public hearing. It's the ordinance to repeal Resolution 2015-20 and amend the County Manual of Roadway Design and Construction Standards. And, John, okay?
I don't think there's a problem if you hold a hearing on that tonight, if you would like. It's on the agenda. As we did our last preparations to get that in front of you for consideration tonight, realized that it qualifies as a land use regulation, and that before the council could act on it, we need to send it through the planning commission.
Oh.
And they need to give a 10-day notice and all of that. So we've put that on the planning commission's agenda as a discussion item for this week, and then they'll hold a hearing in January, and we hope to get it back in front of you for a hearing and action in January. I've reached out to council for the folks that are concerned about the timing of this, to let them know that the ordinance is moving through the process, and but that we've got to follow the code.
Okay. All right, so I guess we won't be having that public hearing either tonight.
I think that's just job security for John. As much as he's worked on this, he doesn't want to let it go.
Okay. Well, we are way ahead of time on our public hearing for the Cache County budget. But we've noticed that for 6 o'clock. Are we in trouble, James, if we go ahead now?
Yeah, I'd wait. Got 30 minutes, maybe break, and do some personal business and come back. I'd wait till 6 p.m. for that.
Okay. All right. That's really all we're waiting for before we can move ahead on anything else. So, let's take a break, I guess. We'll reconvene at 6 o'clock. We won't officially close the meeting, but we'll reconvene at 6.
Mr. Chairman? I guess we broke out to say there's an item to discuss.
What's that? We're still here.
We always have a council Christmas party, and I don't think that we're gonna be able to do that. In fact, I advise against it. So I'm suggesting that we postpone it until either March or April. See if we
At the
can.
first of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wait till after the first of the year.
That was actually